How you doing after that divorce, my guy? How you holding up? That's what we're gonna talk about. This video today is designed to check in on you post-divorce. We ain't just surviving, we rebuilding. So let's get to it. So divorce isn't the end. If you've been through a divorce, and if you know my story, you know I've been there these many times. Divorce isn't the end, it's your reconstruction. So life after divorce, there's 4 stages of rebuilding that I want to discuss, and I won't keep you long today. Divorce didn't break you, my guy. So now what? Right? You got to really own that. You may have been cracked, but it didn't break you. Or did it? Because when I was in the thick of it, it felt like I was broke. So we're going to talk about from heartbreak and heartache to wholeness. Your best life can begin after divorce. So let's get to it. Divorce changes more than your relationship status. It'll definitely shake your identity, your confidence, your finances, your parenting, friendships, and even relationships with yourself. And here's what I want you to hear today. The goal isn't simply to recover from divorce. Your goal is to become someone healthier than the version of yourself that actually entered the marriage. The goal is to become someone healthier than the version of yourself that actually entered the marriage. And far too many of us, we spend years trying to get back to who we used to be, and I don't want that for you. I want you to become someone even better. So today I want to walk you through 4 stages that can help make that happen. Acceptance, recovery, holistic fitness, and sustainability. Let's get it. Because healing, it ain't an event. It's a lifestyle. All right, let's get to it. Point number 1, acceptance. Yeah, man, you got to stop arguing with reality. Your acceptance, it ain't necessarily your approval, and it doesn't mean that the divorce was fair, because I'm almost betting that it wasn't. It doesn't mean that you deserved what came with that. It simply means you are no longer wasting energy fighting what has already happened, my guy. And so you can continue replaying the story or begin writing the next chapter. So here's what I want you to ask yourself. A few questions to check in. What happened? What part was yours? What lessons are you refusing to learn? In other words, what happened? What part was mine? And what lessons am I refusing to learn? Because acceptance, that's the doorway to your freedom. The second point I mentioned at the beginning that I want to briefly touch on is recovery. And you know that healing ain't passive, it's an active sport. Recovery, it ain't about pretending you're okay. It's actually about intentionally repairing what divorce disrupted within you. Your emotions, your nervous system, your confidence, your trust, your finances, your relationships, your routines. Many people only recover legally. On paper, very few recover emotionally, and if they do, it typically takes men, black men, from my experience, anywhere between 5 and 10 years. Recovery requires grieving. Recovery requires a deep level of honesty. It also requires, and here's the most important part, it requires support. And y'all know support is a synonym for accountability in my world. And yes, recovery oftentimes requires therapy and counseling. Strong people don't avoid healing. Strong people pursue and lean into healing. So here's a few questions that I want you to pose to yourself regarding recovery. What still hurts? What still triggers you? What do you need to forgive? And what do you need to release? Stated another way, what still hurts me? What still triggers me? What do I need to forgive, or who to forgive? And what do I need to release? That's the second point. Third point, holistic fitness. Yeah, man, you got to get in shape like never before. And don't just heal your heart. You got to upgrade your whole life. This is where your unique voice really, really matters in terms of how you speak to yourself moving through this challenge. A few things that I want to remind you when it comes to holistic fitness. And we're talking your whole self. Mental fitness, that's learning new stuff, therapy or counseling. Reading, journaling. Emotional fitness, emotional regulation. You've heard that 1,000 times. Boundaries, what that really means for you. Attachment styles is helpful in terms of how your new attachment style is, right? Because if you're going through a divorce or you went through a divorce, you know attachment styles change with experience and time. And the last one is self-awareness. But many of us stop at the awareness stage instead of going through. Because if you park at the awareness stage, the self-awareness stage too long, you'll develop this intellectual sparring match with yourself without really doing the necessary work. I'll come back to that. Physical fitness is part of your holistic fitness. You already know that's exercising, your nutrition, definitely sleep, going to the doctor, making sure the blood work is just getting checked out, and your hormones, right? Things shift, especially if you are anywhere in any age for divorce, but definitely if you're in the age of 40 to 50 and going through something challenging as a divorce. Come on, man, this could be, not could be, it definitely will be a hormone shift. Spiritual fitness, right? Purpose, gratitude, prayer, meditation, peace, right? Social fitness, healthy new relationships, rekindling and mending old relationships, a community, right? Community and brotherhood, or in this case, sisterhood, if you're a woman watching this. And there's definitely a financial fitness, because you must rebuild. There's savings, there's creating freedom, there's co-parenting, child support, there's individuation. Like, where do you move now? Your next relationship should benefit from the work your last relationship inspired. Notice I didn't say force you to do, has inspired you to do. All right, fourth point, sustainability. Healing has to become your lifestyle. So for too many people, healing is just the next step that they jump on, especially with all the information that's floating around. Then they stop, and then life happens again, and they back to being jolted into the last pattern. So real transformation is sustained through your daily habits, and that's some of the things we aforementioned: exercise, reading, prayer, reflection, community, counseling, boundaries, healthy routines. Your consistency will always beat intensity. So you don't need to be perfect. You just need to stay committed. So here's what I want to leave you with. If you're walking or crawling, or in some case fighting through a divorce right now, please hear me clearly, my God. Divorce may have ended your marriage, but it doesn't have to end your purpose. It doesn't have to define your identity. It doesn't have to determine your future. It doesn't have to dictate your presence. The goal isn't to become who you were before the relationship. We know that ain't happening. The goal is to become the healthiest version of yourself that you've ever been. Accept what happened, recover intentionally, invest in your holistic fitness, and create habits that sustain your healing for the rest of your life. Divorce will eventually be an event as opposed to a current devastation. Your best chapters don't have to be behind you. As a matter of fact, they are not. They may be waiting for the person you are now becoming as a result of the divorce. So if today's discussion resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe. I'd love for you to share this video with someone rebuilding after divorce, particularly a man, a black man, and leave me a comment answering this one question. Which stage are you in right now? Acceptance, recovery, holistic fitness, or sustainability? Let's continue building lives that are emotionally healthier, mentally stronger, physically well, and spiritually grounded. Until next time, take care of yourself, because your healing matters, and we need you, bro. Let's heal together. You dig?